Okay, today we're going to talk about calf numbness, if you're getting it after the rowing machine or on the rowing machine, why it could be happening, and kind of some tips to help you out. Quick disclaimer for this one, this is not medical advice. I am a doctor of physical therapy. However, this is for the general public on YouTube, which means if you are having injuries that are getting worse and you're looking for more specific advice, please reach out to a healthcare provider or a physical therapist or somebody who can help you directly. Now that that's over with, let's jump in. So I got this question in my Facebook group, and surprisingly, quite a few people were having some calf numbness that's happening after the rowing machine. So what could this be and why is it happening? So there's actually quite a few reasons that this could be happening. So if you're getting some numbness in your calf, the first thing I want you to do is actually ask yourself a couple of questions. One, when is it happening? Is it happening while you're on the rowing machine, or is it happening when you are off and done? Two, are you getting any pains or discomforts anywhere else? Like, do you ever get back pain? Do you get anything in your foot? Do you get anything higher up on your leg, like in your thigh? Pay attention to other areas where things might be happening. Three, are you having this pretty much when you're on the rowing machine or off and then it's going away? Or do you have this at other times of the day as well? That's going to tell you a lot of information. At least it tells me a lot of information. But again, this is kind of what I do. So this information can basically kind of help you pinpoint what might be causing it, and is rowing the actual source of it? Because it could be or it could not be. Now, for instance, one of these people mentioned that they are waking up with the back pain, and it started around when they started rowing. Again, not medical advice, but if you are feeling something right when you wake up in the morning, the likelihood of it being from rowing, kind of low. What I would recommend is not rowing for a while and seeing if you're still getting those discomforts. Then, to be honest, rowing and it might be coincidental. However, it's possible that you beginning rowing around the same time is what exacerbated your symptoms and made something else known that you already have going on, but it pushed you over the edge. When in reality, it could have been running, it could have been any other sports. It also could be from form or overtraining, and I'd recommend checking out this video that I just did, kind of talking about that a little bit. But if you are looking at overtraining versus your form, and did you start jumping on and you're doing 30 minutes or an hour every day and you started that from nothing, or are you not really sure if your form is good and you're putting a lot more effort through your back? And I'd check out this video on back things that might be happening on the rowing machine. But essentially, I know I'm talking about the back. The reason is when you have numbness and things in your calf, a lot of times numbness, burning, and tingling are nerve things, which are usually coming from somewhere else. Oftentimes from the back, but not always. Another thing that could be happening is because you are sitting, you are compressing on top of tissues as you sit. And if you're doing something for a long period of time and you're sitting, and we have a little bit of a pelvic tilt and movement as we're sitting, because we're going to that front and that back position in the stroke, when we have some of that movement, but we're also compressing down, that can put some pressure on like the sciatic nerve or some other nerves as well, which could cause some things down lower. Now, if it's happening when you're on the rowing machine, that's more likely to be one of the reasons that you're getting it. But if things are happening at other times in the day or they're happening later on, it's less likely that it's just from pushing and compressing. It's still possible, but it's a little less likely. And more likely that it might be something else. So I definitely would recommend doing a trial. Stop rowing for a little bit, see if you notice it. Or do other activities. Do you notice it when you're walking? Do you notice it if you're walking for like 2 hours versus 30 minutes? Do you notice if you're sitting at a movie for 2 hours versus sitting for 30 minutes on the couch? Like, when are other times that you might notice that you have this symptom or really any other symptoms in the leg or the back happening? And that can kind of give you more details. Please feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to help and make a video kind of like this this one, or we can do an actual one-on-one that is full on all about you, where I can help you a little bit more. But again, this is not medical advice. And I hope that this was a little bit helpful and kind of you seeing a little bit of my logic of where things can go and where to look to help you problem solve. Is rowing the cause? And I also mentioned like that compression. If you're feeling it right after rowing, it might not be that. If you're feeling it right after, but then it like goes away later, it still could be just from that compression. So really there is no one, this is it, this is the reason, this is the cause, I'm sorry. So pay attention to all the other things you're doing in your day and your activities, and really where are you feeling it, when is it happening? And that can help give you a lot of information to help you determine if rowing is it. And if you do determine that rowing is part of it, please feel free to reach out. I'd highly recommend doing a rowing form analysis. You send a video, I send you one back, or we can do it live where I can give you more one-on-one advice. So please feel free to reach out. They can be very beneficial for you, especially if you're uncertain and you're starting to already be uncertain with certain things. And we can row safely and happily and not have pain. So I hope that you continue your rowing journey. Thanks for asking your questions, and I hope this was helpful, and happy rowing.